Okay, now that we have our first passing test, it's time to write a real test. But first, let's make our initial git commit to save our progress. Okay, let's get back to our tests. And in the README, we have defined our first usage scenario, where we set a state in a constructor and expect it to be in the state. Okay, let's just copy this example to our test. And instead of making the assertion in the comments, let's make it explicit. Expect machine state to be initial. Okay. If we run this, it should fail. Cannot find module. This is because we haven't installed the module like this yet. So we're going to require the root directory here and run the tests again. It's unable to find a module. So what's happening here is Node is looking for the module called index.js defined under the main field in the package.json, sorry. So we are going to define the index.js file here. So let's define it. We're going to export a simple constructor and run the tests again. And it failed because we didn't set the state to an argument that was passed to us in a constructor. So let's instead do this initial state, and let's define an object called public methods that we are going to return. And let's define a new property on this object called state. And let's set it to initial state that was passed to us in the constructor. And the tests still fail. Let's see why. Oh, we are returning an empty object here instead of public methods, sorry. Okay. Let's run it again, and it passed. And we have our first real passing test. Let's change the test name here to be it accepts initial state as an argument, as a constructor argument. Okay. And let's move this outside of our test. And the best practice for Mocha is to define this in before each hook. And we have to do one more thing, and that's define a machine outside in the outer scope. So we have access from inside this function and in this function. This should make test screen again. Great. Okay, now that we have done this, we can commit our changes again. Start setting initial state as a constructor argument. Okay, great.